happening, YouTube? We out here asking questions at the goddamn college. You know what I'm saying? Back at it again. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck, bro.
Getting faded at this university.
Nah, you're bugging. You're bugging out. You're bugging out. What does that mean to you?
Free will?
Yeah, free will.
Sounds like kind of like, the freedom of like opinion, speech,
Okay.
just like, First Amendment type stuff.
Okay. And do you think that outside influence affects free will?
I think so actually.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the, your friends, they
Right.
can affect your opinions and your
Social
beliefs
media?
on. Yeah, social media.
For starters, what is philosophy to you guys? Like, what does that mean? Technically translates to love of wisdom.
When I think of philosophy, I don't know. The first thing that comes to mind is usually like the Greek philosophers, like
Yeah.
Aristotle and like,
I get that.
Aristotle mainly. I forgot the other ones. But,
Plato,
yeah, Plato.
Or Socrates,
Yeah,
maybe?
Socrates,
All of them.
Okay.
lots of Greek philosophers.
Nice.
Kind of
Nice.
Yeah, Nietzsche, all those guys.
Mhm.
Oh,
See,
okay.
deep-
My favorite subject of philosophy to talk about is free will.
Free will.
What is the definition of free will to you guys?
right there.
Yeah.
How does people? Oh shit! You do that.
You're good.
Okay, we didn't break. All right, it's fine. Test it. All right. So yeah, free will. I think freedom of choice, freedom of freedom of expression, what you can and can't do, depending on like where you live at. I think it's all dependent on where you live, what what rules they have in place, and free will can be different for a lot of people depending on where you ask this question.
Okay. So I guess you think that outside influences affect free will?
Kind of with I don't know, the people you hang out with and like the whole fear of judgment and what other people think will definitely kind of impact how you act, and whether you care or not about what other people think affects your free will, because then you're more willing to, I don't know, maybe deviate from the norm and like do things that other people might.
It's going to place an effect on our free will, especially given how little time people spend reflectively thinking and like actually like deciding what's the influence.
I definitely feel like you got a point, especially with social media. We live in an age of like, social media is kind of everything, like doom scrolling, TikTok, Instagram. And you see these trends and you see that they're popular right now, and then everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna hop on this trend, I'm gonna do this.
I think a lot of news sources definitely giving like people a lot of like hysteria and like when you watch the news, it's just it's a lot of bad things going on.
A lot of manipulation of like the mind.
It's based on which side you watch. They're feeding you what their beliefs are, and you kind of tend to deviate towards your own personal beliefs. Like it goes with your personal biases. You always are following that route. You're like, it enforces what I believe, so I'm gonna watch it. Whereas the other ones don't necessarily say things that I agree with, so I'm not gonna watch it. So there's always two sides of the story.
I agree.
Get one camera in your face and get political.
Oh my God. No, it's not me.
Awesome.
The rich.
Over here, what do you think? Who categorizes free will?
Just being able to do what you want without consequences. Like realizing some decisions weren't like something that you wanted to do, and definitely some manipulation could be involved.
Cool. So do you think like things like media and such like that are like influencing our decisions?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Cool. Your definition of free will?
I don't believe we have free will.
Why not?
Because the human mind cannot be a separate substance which has a cause upon material. I believe in epiphenomenalism, so physicalism. I believe we have we have experiences, but that our experiences are not causal agents.
Okay. So you think that like outside influences, like, I don't know, social media or any of that kind of stuff, that affects free will?
I think it affects us. Absolutely, it affects us. But it affects our behavior, but more in terms of reaction as opposed to. So it is a cause that will give rise to actions from ourselves, but not because of free will. That's my view.
Right on.
My name's Uchenna.
Uchenna?
Uchenna? Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Free will. I don't know, just kind of doing whatever you want, really.
No matter the circumstance?
Like, you have to take in the other, I guess, like consequences, I would say.
Okay. So you think like external influences affect free will?
I would say they do. they affect it, but I don't think it stops it from being like free will.
Okay, you think it's maybe like limited? Like, do you think
Yeah.
like social media and shit, like maybe like I don't know, you think any of that would affect free will whatsoever?
No.
No?
No, I don't say so.
Reflective thinking has a play in this? Like, you think it's important to reflect?
I would say it's important to reflect, yeah.
Cool. And you think of the free will, like maybe like you think that maybe that reflection could be what's keeping what's controlling you to what you control, maybe? I don't know. If there's
that was I don't even know. I would say
is it integral?
Yeah, I would say it's important to free will, yeah. Looking back on
will.
things, yeah.
Cool. And like I guess just to wrap it up with like I guess advancements, and I don't know if you're familiar with like advancements in AI, like metaverse. They got like headsets and shit coming out, virtual reality and shit like that.
Probably the worst for free will, I would say. Just AI in general.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't think I mean, do you think some parts are good?
I think there's a lot of good parts. I use it all the time. I'm not gonna say on what, but I use it all the time. It's definitely good.
Yeah, you ready? So for starters, what is philosophy to you? Like what does that mean?
Well, literally the love of wisdom. For me, I think it's three main categories: it's ontology, epistemology, and for me, deontology. I think.
Okay, so what is free will by your definition?
I think that it's an illusion that people feel a sense of agency, and I think generally tend to ignore the social context that they're in. And I think especially it's important to religious people to defend.
Yes, maybe they believe that fate and destiny can't coincide with free will.
Well, yeah, I mean that's one of the fundamental contradictions in
yes
Abrahamic religion, especially you're responsible for your choices, but also it's all predefined. Yeah, for sure.
So how does that make sense? Anyways, but as you're saying, so then I guess we continue. Do you think that like other outside influences have an effect on our free will? Therefore, like I don't know, maybe like subjugating it a little bit.
Yeah, so like I had a job interview once, and the final question they asked was, "Why are people poor?" And it's like, wow, okay, that's like an intense question. That kind of brings out a lot of like people might say like they're lazy,
right?
But the like a good answer is like different kinds of people are structurally denied access to the resources that they need, which creates this incentivizes the social construction of crime and the social construction of illness and disease and all of these ways that we classify people as wrong, and like we either criminalize or pathologize people on the basis of their difference from like normal. That's a social choice. It's not something individuals have a lot of say in. People can learn, I think, to like question those kinds of things before they do them.
Familiar with the concept of free will? And what does that mean to you guys? Or anyway, yeah.
Well, I'm in like intro to critical thinking right now, so there was that whole like unit on free will, and like sounds like we don't have it, but I don't like to think about it. So that's my opinion on free will. Just don't think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I try not to get too like into that type, like into like thinking about it, just for the fact that I feel like it can like guide your like life into very like negative like.
That external influences affect maybe in free will.
Kinda, I would have to say.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like everything affects you in like different ways. Like if you think about just like life, anything you like come upon, it can affect you.
I agree. What would you think reflective thinking plays in this? Like, do you think that maybe helps gather back some of that influence that maybe, I don't know, like helps us control the things that we can control?
Kinda. I feel like
maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But also like if you're already being affected by something, is the reflective thoughts like just like carrying that on, you know?
What do you think? Awesome. Thank you guys.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.